And I would say by the end of the year, I mean, I don't know I can't tell you for sure because I don't have the numbers yet, but I mean, just looking at the pipeline, I would say that, we'll probably get a 5 to 10 time investment on our money, which is phenomenal. Jake Gump. I'm with business development manager. I'm with Creative IT, and we've been with Arsenal since November. So how long is that? 4 months? So going on 4 months. So our president, Robert Phelps, had actually talked to Aaron back when he was starting the company. He was vetting SDR opportunities for his business, and then I don't think he made the move at that time. And then we were looking at expanding our sales team, so he gave me Arsenal to call on, and so I went on the website and looked at the interviews, and then got a hold of Aaron and Sam, talked to them. Well, you had, you got people that are in our industry first. So you got people designated in certain industries. So, there was actually several that I was interested in. And so I really liked the speciality of that. And so, yeah, that was probably an initial interest, was the fact that you had people in the MSP industry that had called on MSPs before. Well, we had an immediate win in the first, basically just past the first month. I think it was actually our rep Aaron Epstein's first call he ever made. So that's kind of unheard of. And then, it's been great. I mean, we've had several, not shy of, appointments every week, which is kind of unheard of too. We've had a lot of success. We got a full pipeline, a lot of big deals. We've, went from smaller size deals to larger size deals because of Aaron's experience. And so, yeah, we're looking to crush goals. So we're really excited about where we're going. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm in communication with Aaron almost every day. We have weekly meetings. We learn, about what we're encountering, from gatekeepers and the interactions he's having. Talk about ways to get better. Really, there's an openness and transparency that I like about our relationship, and just about the whole situation really, and what we're trying to accomplish and the goals we have. Our goals are really aligned to get there too. So that's something I get excited about when I think about partnering with Arsenal. 3 things come to mind. First off, you guys source really good talent. Our rep Aaron has a great skill set, and then he took personal responsibility learning how we do business. And, I really appreciate that, and having, a partner that really wants us to win, and he wants to win. The second thing is, you guys have a really good process with how you interact with the team and how you interact with us, and you got the latest tools to get the job done. And then third, you can just tell, by talking to everybody in your you guys are hungry. Everybody in your organization's hungry. There's a culture of winning at Arsenal, and I think it's like blatantly, anybody I talk to, whether it's, the reps manager, Sam, Aaron, whoever I talk to, they all want to win. They all want to, do right by their partners, and have and make money while doing it, right? So it will never be dead. The quickest way to your next client is picking up the phone and calling. And I know many successful reps in small business to large enterprise business that have done millions that still make calls every day. And so in my opinion, cold calling will never be dead, because it has to be a part of your sales toolkit, period. And if you are a person that doesn't want to make the calls, then you need to hire somebody that has a skill set to do so. And that's perfectly fine. And in our case, we just wanted, we were a small sales team looking to grow, and we thought Arsenal was the best way to help grow our sales team to where we wanted. And we wanted more calls a day, and so wanted to reach more people more quickly. And so that's the best way to do it, is to get them on the phone, find them in the buying cycle. Aaron called somebody the other day. We called them right when they were looking for somebody. So that's really what you're looking for when you're talking about, finding someone. The next phone call could be the person that you're going to be partnering with, and could be your next sales win. Yeah. Yeah, I can't say enough about Aaron. I don't want to make his head too big, but I watched his interview. Sam told me he came available because we were trying to figure out which rep we wanted to go with. So I watched his interview, and with his background, I felt like he would just be a great fit, and it just turns out it was. And the thing I like about Aaron is that he goes the extra mile for us every day. It's very apparent. He's really, I really appreciate his communication. He's very open. He's very transparent with every aspect of what he's trying to do for us, and then he's got a willingness to learn our business. He asks and wants to know. I'm very curious about what's making us successful. What is the perfect client for us? Just I don't know. Obviously there's standards to do the business, but then he just goes that extra mile, and I just man, you what can you say? You really appreciate that. So yeah, we had that one quick win in the first 2 months. Right now we've got a pipeline full of appointments and deals and potential clients that are trying to close. I think when you get into bigger deals, they have a longer sales cycle. So it's just getting in the door and building that relationship. Some of them, we got really big contracts coming down the line that may not sign right away. They may, but they, could close by the end of the year. So you know, I think that's another, great thing about Arsenal is having somebody that gets you in the door and bigger, maybe bigger businesses than what you're normally, not used to. And so you have to deal with a longer sales cycle. And then also when they're in the buying phase, right? So, but we're making relationships, and we're, taking appointments that we would have never gotten if we didn't have Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, I'll be candid. I mean, cold calling is you got to have somebody that's resilient. You have to keep motivation high. And if you hire somebody, you have to be the source of that motivation. You have to be the source of the training. You have to pay benefits. You have to pay, let's say just pay their salary, pay everything, right? So you have to worry about training them. So with Arsenal, we wanted to get up to speed quicker. So we wanted, a certain price point, and we wanted to have not have to worry about training so much. And so we felt like Arsenal was the quickest way to get up and going. And as it turns out, I mean, I think that we kind of think that it's just a service we're just going to continue on, and continue with, and just keep adding reps. So I would, anybody that's a new sales team, especially in our situation was a new sales team, I would definitely consider it, because if you're, like I said, you guys have people in the MSP industry, and I didn't have to train Aaron. Aaron just had to learn the way we do business, and we're off and running. So and then it's a simple transaction. So it was, from getting up and running standpoint, was very easy. Yeah, that first one, I think Aaron said, we initially thought it was 1,500, but ended up being closer, over 2,000. So that was a nice good chunk of change right out of the gate. So 2,000 MRR was the initial. We've got a pipeline full. I would say we're close to 30,000 MRR and sitting in the pipeline right now that just needs to close. So can't ask for more than that. I mean, that's a full pipeline, and then we got, I mean, just looking at the next 2 weeks, I've got several appointments on the books right now. So you can't ask for better. A closed deal. I think that first win's really important too. And kind of establishes that relationship, and hey, we're doing the right things. So I wasn't expecting, going into it. I mean, we were kind of expecting a ramp up of 3 months and kind of just, getting everything going. And, that was our expectation, and it was kind of shattered. We weren't expecting all that to happen. Honestly, I don't think Aaron, our rep, was, expecting his first call to be a win, but, which, it's just anytime it kicks off that quickly, it's just a great situation to be in. So, but we're definitely happy with, our start. Yeah. Obviously, the short-term goal was just get that first win, right? So, I mean, we got that first win quickly. We do our sales on a quarterly basis. We haven't met our initial sales quota for as far as Arsenal. We're just trying to, get ROI, right? So I think that we're taking a little bit different perspective with Arsenal. We're looking at it. We're trying to look at it from a 6 month to a year perspective. And so I feel like we're on track. Because when you look at sales projections, you look at pipeline, and you look at the start and stuff like that, and there has to be a grace period, and a ramp period. So we feel like we're on track to hit everything for the year, and honestly to crush it. So uh, all good things from our point of view. Do I think that Arsenal is worth the cost? Yes, 100%. And I'm trying to, I feel like it's when you're talking to people about what's worth it to them, it's about what they value, right? And so, you know, we've almost covered our cost in the first quarter, with Arsenal. So if you look at it from a return on investment standpoint, I mean, that's what we want. We want a return on investment for our money, right? So that's what we value. We value a pipeline. We value building good partnerships and getting sales in the door. So yes, 100%, it's worth it. If you are looking to get more sales in the door, old-fashioned cold calling, which people think is old-fashioned, but it's really not. There's an art to it, and you guys have the latest and greatest to get people in the door. So, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. I would consider it if you're trying to get more sales in the door, and there's no better way to build it consistently. And it's not going to be something that you're going to come in and gosh, we're just going to everything's going to be blown out of the water. No, but you will consistently build it with hard work in day out, and just doing the work. Right? It's a numbers game when you're talking about cold calling, because you're finding people in the buying sales cycle. You're finding people that need your services, and there's a lot of opportunity out there. And if you don't have a company like Arsenal calling and getting your name out there when they do, or when they are ready, or if they are ready immediately, you need to be at their forefront. So we feel like it's been a great investment. And I would say by the end of the year, I mean, I don't know what, I can't tell you for sure because I don't have the numbers yet, but I mean, just looking at the pipeline, I would say that we'll probably get a 5 to 10 time investment on our money, which is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually remote to my company, so majority of my meetings are virtual. I feel like it's the way that everything's going. We try to get quick sales interactions. I do have a few larger clients that sometimes will want us to come on site and to shake hands, and that's totally fine. That's doable. But majority of I would say, gosh, a staggering probably 90% of my meetings are virtual. I mean, I don't have to wonder in the back of my head whether Aaron's doing his job. I don't have to wonder whether I'm going to have appointments next week. I don't have to wonder whether, I'm going to be able to, hear the phone calls that he's doing. And, I just don't have to wonder. I know that he's there. He has our best interest at heart. He's wanting us to win. He's wanting to win. So it's just kind of a peace of mind thing for us when it comes to Arsenal. And we know we have a good partner. And you typically, it takes a while to establish trust, but you know, can't say enough about Aaron and about the work he does and the work that Arsenal has done for us just right out of the gate. I mean, we got a couple monster deals that are sitting there that could close at any time. Some potential that contracts are coming up and they're looking at options. So I got a feeling that near the end of the year we're just going to have you know a big payoff. Because we're catching, we've caught some companies that maybe were early in the sales cycle, buying process, but we're catching them, we're keeping up with them, we're staying in touch with them, and that's another thing that Aaron does for us is that not only does he set the appointments, but he calls and checks up with them, and so we stay in touch, and that's what you need to nurture those leads, and that's what closes deals. Yeah, don't go with the cheaper option. You guys are fairly priced anyway, and just don't do it. Don't go for the guarantees that are out there that are ridiculous that is too good to be true. There's no. Also, you don't want someone that's um, calling for 10 other companies in your area as well. Stuff like that. In my opinion. So we felt like that Arsenal, had the know how to call for our industry. You guys were fairly priced. There wasn't ridiculous. You guys were realistic with how it's going to happen and what to expect when doing business with us. And we had others that would promise the world and just deliver goose eggs. I'm talking no appointments sometimes. And so obviously that's why Arsenal is a great partnership in our book, because we got stuff immediately coming to us, which we weren't expecting that. We were expecting it to come, but just not as quickly. But I mean, anytime it does, we're that's a great testament to the knowledge of the reps, and the processes in place. And I just when you're efficient at what you do and you know what you're doing, that success can come quickly. Yeah, we're revenue share. Cold calling and sales takes high motivation, as I said, and we want to provide a great quality of life for our staff and for our partners, and that's the reason why we chose that model. It's sales is sometimes a thankless job, and we value our partners, and we felt like that, giving people a piece of the pie is just fair, and and you guys make it advantageous as well for us on the back on the start too. If you're trying to start at a certain price point, and then hey, you get a win, chip us in. So we just felt like that was a great model to have. And there's some people that just want a flat rate, cut budget, and that's what it is. And you have that option too, and we respect that. But we wanted to treat our rep for putting in the work, and because sales takes work and consistency and high motivation. Yeah, I would say we've actually already had discussions 4 months in, so of just continuing with Arsenal, probably adding reps or adding additional equipping Aaron with more time, more of Aaron, more of our rep, honestly. We're buying a certain amount of calls right now, and a certain amount of time, and we'll probably just keep adding fuel to the fire, so to speak. So we intend on growing and getting bigger, and gosh, why wouldn't we? With everything way everything's set up, without going into detail, it's easy for us to just pull the trigger on another rep and get going. I would say, if you are looking to, you don't want to worry about, training your own rep, and you want a budgetable way to increase your sales, and you don't have to worry about the expertise factor. I would look at Arsenal as an option. I don't have any quirky lines other than, if you want more sales, give Arsenal a call. Absolutely, absolutely would. Great investment, and we think that it's going to pay off big time for us. So we couldn't be more thrilled about our choice. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys, taking the time. I think this, letting your future clients know about your services is great. I think, to my rep, Aaron, Kansas, sorry, they stink. Chiefs, they're Super Bowl champs, but whatever. And Joe, keep doing what you're doing for Aaron. I think Joe's a great manager to Aaron. They got a great relationship, and yeah, Aaron, appreciate everything you do. I appreciate the time you put in. The constant communication that we're in, and let's continue the relationship, man. Let's keep crushing it.